Today's something, man, I've been straying. I've been straying. I've been playing Space Marine. And then I did Midnight. But we're back on topic. And they just dropped this. So, um, of course, I mean, this whole entire project, this whole entire stream, everything about this, the YouTube channel is mainly about Diablo. It's the one game I feel comfortable about, and I jump in on like Warcraft, and I mean that's Blizzard. I try other cool things that I've always wanted to, but I've always felt uncomfortable. There's so many people that are so good out there at just streaming and playing games and everything like that, and then the only game, I mean, besides Diablo, is like maybe Destiny 2. Like I will sit there and I will tell you, I don't care what anybody says. Like I've been playing Destiny since 2014. Like it feels good in my hands. I know uh, it's it's not a miscellaneous dog. It feels good to me. And Diablo's like that too. So I always felt comfortable. And this is like coming back home whenever I have to come back and do something with Diablo, which is this is the main sauce for what I'm doing here, really. I mean, I don't care too much about anything else. In terms of displaying, so I could do this without a stream, but like I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to record myself too for my girls. I want them to see this when I get old and gray in like 30 years, and they're like, look at dad. But today, Diablo put out the deep dive of let me put on my headphones. Jeez. They put on the deep dive for season 12, the overview. Um, how are my levels? And yeah, I just wanted to play. I don't expect to play anything tonight because of how long this is. But if I can, I will. I mean, I do want to get in a little bit more with my sorcerer. I never got her to 250. Maybe that could be a thing for season 12. But we're definitely going to do paladin if warlock's not available, and that's what I'm going to find out right now. I haven't even done any type of research on whether or not like I mean, the pros would know. I don't know because I got to go to work and I don't research. I don't have the time to. But it's such a simple answer that I could probably just. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to pull up Grok. Where's my thing? Here we go. Let's go Grok. Let's go Grok. There's Grok. Will Warlock be available for D4S12? Oh, and he's gonna know because I know Elon loves his Diablo. So go Grok go. No. Season 12 entitled Season of Slaughter launches March 11th, so that is less than a week, 10 a.m. That's 7 a.m. No, wait, no, minus. I'm in Eastern time, so that's 1 p.m. Um, so the Butcher via season of West Lying. Okay, okay. Warlock was showcased in the recent developer update live stream March 5, which is what we're gonna watch right now. Highlighting its yada 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 redesigned skill trees. However, it launches with Lord of Hatred, so April 28th. So season 12, I'm gonna do Paladin. Sorcerer is my main. I love running Sorcerer. Um, but I withheld, and I'm gonna say I don't even care if anybody knows. I didn't buy the expansion. I still haven't bought the expansion. I'm gonna, but I didn't think it was feasible at the moment, personally, and for any other reason. I was running sorcerer, so it's like, okay, yeah, sure, I could buy it, but I have until April 28th. Why waste my time buying it and just having it? And well, now with 12 coming out next week, now it makes sense, you know. I watched everybody run around with their paladins and stuff. I know it's going to be nerfed, but now I'm getting more of a true paladin, you know, in season 12. So I didn't get to experience the OP paladin, you know, but well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do paladin on season 12, so that makes my decision making it a lot easier. So when Lord of Hatred drops, the seasons are usually about 3 months, no? Well, if midway through a season we have to pop a warlock, then we're gonna do two. So it is what it is. Anyways, gonna start this. Let's go. So this is straight from the Diablo page. Their deep dive and overview of 12, Warlock, all that good stuff.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Season 12 Developer Update Stream and the Warlock Deep Dive. My name is Marcus Kretz, I'm a Community Manager here at Blizzard Entertainment. We've got a jam-packed show for you today. First things first, Twitch drops are live. Watch any eligible channel in the Diablo 4 category and grab this open.
Hoping mine is eligible because I have all drops enabled. So if you're watching, I don't know if I have to have some sort of gameplay or whatever, but I have everything enabled. I hope it works out. I hope you don't waste your time if you're gonna watch this.
Omen's Glimpse Long Cosmetic, 30 minutes.
If not, go watch somebody else so you get your drops.
Wearing the Siphon of Male Faction Siphon Cosmetic. Now we've got a lot to share today as we dive into the makeup, development, and skills of the Warlock class. And then on the second half of the stream, we're going to be talking about everything coming with our upcoming season launching on March 11th. Very, very exciting. But I want to recap to everyone, we do have the Lord of Hatred expansion arriving on April 28th. To take you through everything coming there, we got the
Let's pause. Hold on. Let's look at this. So still pulling the paladin as long as you purchase it. New campaign, Face Mephisto. Alright. The purchase of this, obviously, they get you the Warlock. It's going to be, you know, guarded behind some code. This is what I'm super excited about, Skobos. This is my favorite thing because this is super... When I saw it, the first thing that hit me was Mediterranean. And I live down here in South Florida. We have Art Deco at the beach. Similar vibes in terms of the way the sun hits things and colors and stuff like that. So when I saw that in such a dark world, Skobos looks so pretty. And obviously, in the world of Diablo, you know, it's going to be very dark regardless. Demons, things, problems. But it's nice to see something so bright and vivid and water, and it just looks like Greece. It looks like Mykonos. It looks like Italy. It just looks great, and it's a breath of fresh air. And I think what's this guy's name, man? He's super big. When it comes to locations and stuff like that, I'm over here pulling up another YouTube page, trying to see if I just type in Diablo, maybe I can find this dude. There he is. Yeah, Riker. Yeah, he's like the biggest Diablo dude. I mean, he's getting like 30k views on his thing. He's just balling out, falling out of control. But like I saw him do a video on that, and he mentioned like he goes, well, what's I think it was recent, probably like a week ago. He's like, what are the devs thinking of like new regions, even past Scovos? You know, like one thing that hasn't been explored is like Asian themed kind of things. You know, we got Vessels of Hatred kind of jumped into like Mayan and jungle kind of architecture and themes, and Scovos is going to like Europe and Mediterranean kind of looking stuff. We haven't done like an Asian kind of looking stuff from Diablo 2, 3, and now. And it's he made a good point. Like that would be really cool if you had like Chinese, Japanese, and Asian influence with the way the atmosphere and the stuff looked, the way it just looked, because a lot of it's just look. Um, Major system updates and itemization. We got the Heridric Cube back. I love that in D3. The new skill tree, talisman. This is I'm guessing, more ways to make you farm. War plans. I'm going to be very critical about war plans. I want to see it work out. The only way that this would work out for me, war plans, because they did this in Destiny about like a year or two ago, and it's like these bounties, and you would get on these paths. Like before, you would just grab a bounty, turn it in, finish it, turn it in, get your reward. But then they would have like these, I forget what it's called, like it's on the tip of my tongue. But it was like this path. I complete these 5 bounties in a row, and then at the end you get an extra reward because you did it in this path. And that's the only way war plans will work, because in reality, when you're watching my streams, you're watching me already look at what the things that I need to do, and I'm already going out and doing them. So I'm already making my war plan. But if they want to make a war plan for me, or if I get to make my own creative one, and at the end it's like, oh, you were able to complete this in this order or do this as it escalated, now you get this extra reward on that. Oh, guaranteed mythic if you're doing it at T4. Now we're talking. But this, I feel like, I mean, for a regular, if it's just going to be like, hey, just do this path, it's not going to make any sense to me, to be honest. Echoing Hatred, it's a cool little new mechanic. And fishing. Fishing? Okay. Alright, up here, Paladin Cosmetic. This is obviously if you buy like the $89, the $90 one. Mount, bunch of platinum. Skill tree updates for 8 classes. My dog just came in. But that's this right here. Is literally this right here. Okay. Loot filter. Fire. Level cap increase. So we're going from 60 to 70? I don't know. I need to look that up. Mark your calendar, March Warlock deep dive, and then they got all this all kind of, what is this big thing here? This looks like some sort of a cross of some sort. Anyways, let's continue.
Hatred brings an epic new campaign. We'll have 2 new classes with the Paladin and the Warlock. There's going to be a whole new region of Scovos. There's going to be massive system overhauls and an expanded campaign.
Oh, it says
Check out there on April.
I'm restarted. This is, it says it right here, level 70. Okay, cool. All right.
28 when Lord of Hatred arrives. But without any further ado, we have a fantastic video to share with you that goes over everything coming with this dark class.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for the official Warlock Deep Dive. We're excited to get into the details, including some backstory, the visual and archetype design, and mechanics. Let's jump in. Hey everyone, I'm Jason Dunmore, Associate Art Director for Diablo 4, and I'm really excited to be here sharing more about the Warlock, its story, and the visual design that brings it to life. When we started talking about the Warlock, the very
First off, on the visual design, the Warlock looks like he's straight out of like a Metallica concert or like some sort of metal, like Metal Militia. Like, I don't know. He looks like he's straight up And I hope that's the influence that they took from that. Because he looks like he's straight up like either he could pick up a guitar or he's gonna start moshing somewhere.
First thing we aligned on was that this character stands fully unleashed at the height of their strength. Warlock is not a clean freak, not someone who's throwing fireballs from a safe distance and walking away spotless, but rather a dark caster who's made a very conscious decision to use demons as tools.
That's the thing. I think like with the power of the warlock is that you're gonna have a lot of like skills that are going to take from you to be able to manifest great things, which is kind of cool. It's almost like um okay, this is not going to make sense, but in Pokemon, right? Bulbasaur had Leech Seed, right? That would you throw it, it wouldn't do anything, but it would constantly leech life from whoever you threw a Magikarp, whatever you threw it at. And in this sense, it's the opposite. So you're gonna want to gain power. Maybe it's gonna leech life from you, so you could do extra things. And I guess it depends when we see the skill tree and when we see what's going on with it. But I think that's kind of a cool. If that's the direction they're going with this, that's kind of a cool dynamic because you're gonna have to kind of play around with how much can I pull out of this dude um, to get power, and how much is it gonna take from me? If that's what they mean, it's kind of like a dirty player. It's not the same as like popping three hydras and throwing fireballs, with a sword.
The warlock emerges from the shadows as a practitioner of forbidden arts, shaped by the dark legacy of the patriarch, haunted by demons, burdened with infernal insight, and feared by pretty much everyone. They have a presence about them that takes over the room. They've been through so much and have so much power that you both want to run with them and are scared of them. They've come from a really corrupt history. They've seen hell up close, and because of that, the way they summon demons isn't elegant or ceremonial. It's violent. They're ripping something out of hell against its will and forcing it into sanctuary. You don't always know.
Hold on, this looks blurry. Do I even have it on? Look at me. Look at me. What am I doing? Here we go.
That struggle between this dark evil and the hero you are is core to their fantasy. What I love about the warlock is that they sit right on that line between hero and something a little more dangerous. They're trying to save sanctuary, but they're willing to do things no one else
What
would.
is that hand?
No regret about collateral damage. Very
No, no,
much
no, no. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
something a little more dangerous.
Look at this thing. That is too cool.
They're trying to save sanctuary, but they're willing to do things
Look at it.
no one else would. There's no regret about collateral damage. It's very much, I don't have a choice. This has to be done. And we wanted that to come through not just in the spells, but in how they move, how they stand,
This goes like
how
a
they
blink.
occupy space. They can take a hit and hit back in ways we've never done before in the Diablo. That's really the heart of the platform. You're asserting dominance over hell itself, and everything about the warlock, narratively, visually, and mechanically, reinforces that idea. When we were figuring out the visual direction of the warlock, we knew pretty early on we didn't want them to feel like a traditional fantasy caster. No flowing robes, no pristine silhouettes, no fancy elements. The touchstones we kept coming back to were rebellion and metal. That feeling of someone who's been through hell, literally, and came back changed. Visually,
Catholics.
we wanted the warlock to feel intimidating. To be honest, a lot of that inspiration comes from metal music culture. It's loud and aggressive, and that idea translated really naturally to how the warlock moves.
That makes sense. That's what I was saying. It looks like somebody in metal, dirty, actual physical metal, horns. It looks like somebody who's been to hell and come back. It just it looks the part, and I guess they accomplished that. They're right.
How they cast, how they carry themselves. This is someone who's walked the edge for a long time. Like if someone microdosed bull shards until they found the right amount. So we leaned
microdose.
Machine shop and having the oil on dirt.
Boy.
There's grit in the materials, texture in the surfaces, and weight in the way everything hangs off the body. Nothing feels ornamental.
Look at that. Look at the belt. Look at the belt. Yeah, this is straight up
They're not trying to look heroic.
Slayer, Pantera.
Because that's
You know.
what hell does to you. Everything visually is there to support that story. Layered atop this is a visual design where strong demonic colors of VFX intertwine with physical motion that sets the stage for their lore as a caster who bends demons and infernal forces to their will, giving the class an otherworldly presence.
Oh, let me turn up the desktop audio a little bit.
Character art was a huge part of this class from the beginning. With so many assets needed to be created for the demons, we had to work closely as a feature team to pair all the visual elements of VFX, animation, and character art to help make the demons feel a part of the class in a way that succinctly flowed through the Warlock's visual design. With a balanced approach to animation and VFX, the demonology, shadow, and fire bring that raw, unfiltered power to life in the Warlock. Every moment is deliberate, heavy, and echoes the physical toll of wielding Hell's energy. When you cast, you're forcing something into existence, and the visuals match that intensity. Our effects team went all in to make Warlock feel unique, with a strong identity rooted in danger. Summoning demons is an eruption of hell-forged energy, fire, and twisted light. We wanted the VFX to accentuate the animation with a focus on feel and movement. That's why when you see the skills, they are crafted with aggressive shapes and relentless motion. Whether it's tearing open a portal or binding a demon, you always get a sense of chaos barely held in check, and the battlefield transforms with every cast.
It definitely looks
Warlock
different.
is
It
a
looks cool.
willpower-based class, focused on dominating the battlefield. They use two different resources, Wrath to bring chaotic destruction, and Dominance to summon powerful demons. To define the Warlock as a class, we focus on what it will empower players to do, and how they will interact with the world. First, you create. You're constantly bringing things into the world. Demons, demon parts, manifestations of hell. For example, you might command Fallen to pass through the environment. Or you might block off areas with Wall of Agony, actively shaping the battlefield with your summoned creations.
Oh, that's
Then
cool.
you control. A lot of your power comes from deciding where those demons go, how long they stay alive, and what state they're in. You're controlling the battlefield by positioning and commanding demons while locking down enemies.
That's like you're a
This is
commander,
where
like you're a
Warlock
general,
really
like you're a field
flex
general.
its willpower and feel a sense of deliberate domination. You could order the Tortured Wretch to taunt foes into reckless attacks, or
Alright.
direct the Profane Sentinel to blast your chosen target. Every action is an announcement of your authority over the chaos you've summoned. And finally, you combo. Almost nothing exists in isolation. You're encouraged to chain interactions, summon something, modify it, consume it, detonate it, or use it to empower the next action.
The
The
detonating
system
reminds me of
rewards you for
Necros.
thinking a step ahead. Kill both enemies and demons.
So what does this make
swiftly
the
with
Necro?
bombardment, fueling Sigil of Summons to unleash the next wave of demons.
It's like a
What's
Necro on
important is that these layers feed into each other. Creating gives you options.
injections.
Control lets you shape those options, and comboing turns them into a payoff. So the Warlock isn't just executing a single fixed rotation. It's about building a small ecosystem in combat, and then deciding how aggressively or how cleverly you want to collapse it. The core idea behind Soul Shards is really about transformation, saying, I'm not just summoning demons anymore, I'm actually incorporating hell into myself. With the Soul Shard system, you fuse a demon straight into your body. Picking a Soul Shard is the rulebook for everything you do in-game, shaping your powers and how you play from the ground up. You choose from 4 primary shards. Each shard represents a fundamentally different playstyle direction, mutating your character by stealing powers from hell and your bound demon. Each primary shard does 2 major things. First, it grants a transformative playstyle passive that alters your core gameplay loop. How you summon demons, how you control them, and how you chain effects together. Second, it binds a specific demon pet to you, directly tied to the shard's identity. Within each primary...
It kind of reminds me of Spiritborn. This is a class. exclusive mechanic, I'm guessing. I mean, it's obvious. Class exclusive, but like Spiritborn, you could choose what your was it a snake? I think it was one of them, and so I played Spiritborn like many seasons ago, which feels like years, but it's probably like 6 months ago or something like that. But okay, so it's kind of the same.
Shard.
Let me hear
then
them out.
select
Hold on.
one of 3 fragment sub-options. Fragments act as specialization layers. They don't change what the shard is, but they absolutely change how it behaves, what you prioritize, what resources you lean on, and how your abilities interact.
Lord.
The result is that the shards open up new and unique transformative options for how you interact with the world and your demons. When you see a warlock in action, you can tell what they chose, not because of a tooltip, but because of how their gameplay unfolds. One of the
if
big
you're up on
pillars of the
snuff,
warlock
yeah.
is that although you're a summoner of hell, these entities are not behaving like conventional pets. Most summons are temporary. Warlocks brutally discard them once they have served their purpose. But with a soul shard, you choose to persistently bind one of 4 powerful demons to supercharge your playstyle. With Legion, the focus is on biological demon generation. This demon specializes
It's gonna
in
be OP
spawning
for a whole
physical demonic
season.
bodies into the world. Mechanically, that gives you more entities to control,
This is gonna push
reposition, and
pits.
chain together, which supports builds that scale through volume and chaotic.
However, from the gameplay, it
Here
looks
you have the
slow,
demon Agram,
and I
who
don't know
embodies
if they're
this
doing it on
chaotic
purpose
approach.
just so they can show
Using
everybody
its
what's
spit
going on.
command, Agram can unleash corrosive projectiles across the battlefield that burst into smaller demons on impact. As you command Agram and other lesser demons, their deaths fuel your power to summon greater demons. Every spawned
figure it
lesser
out.
demon serves as a resource, amplifying your summoning potential and enabling more dramatic, high-impact plays. The system
figure it out.
encourages you to continuously generate, sacrifice, and leverage these demonic minions, creating a feedback loop where the chaos you unleash becomes the fuel for even more formidable monsters to join your legion. Vanguard shifts the system towards mobility and frontline presence. The fiery steed Abodian functions as an aggressive, speedy means of closing gaps. It's designed for players who want to push forward, create openings, and apply pressure through motion. With Abodian's charge, the Warlock surges across the battlefield in a blaze of hellfire, pulling
That'd
foes
be good for
along
Pit.
and instantly repositioning for the next attack. Mastermind moves things in a more control-oriented direction. The devouring shadow demon Lalish undermines your enemies and attacks on your command. It favors players who enjoy planning ahead and creating layered outcomes. Executing Lalish's Terror Realm consumes foes while cloaking the Warlock in shadow form, allowing you to remain hidden while issuing direct commands to your abyssal demons. This devastating maneuver lets you orchestrate surprise assaults, manipulating enemy placement and inflicting terror. The synergy between shadow form and abyss demon control turns the battlefield into your personal chessboard.
Erased.
Ritualist is deliberately different. This demon exists primarily as a sacrificial resource. You're siphoning power from it to generate bursts of strength, trading an offensive pet for spikes in your damage and efficiency. When you channel the might of Valak, you're tapping into a wellspring of forbidden magic. By draining Valak's essence, you can unleash empowered spell combos, like trapping enemies in shadowy confinement with Dark Prison, before detonating the battlefield with Hell Fractures. Valak's
See, that
unique
looks
body
complicated and it looks
supercharges
fun.
your
That
occult,
looks super
hellfire,
fun.
and abyss abilities, making every cast more devastating and allowing your warlock to bend the materials of hell to their will in moments of explosive power. Hopefully you can see how picking your bound demon is more than just window dressing. It's
That's
the
super
linchpin
cool.
that turns every fight into your personal stage.
What sets the Warlock apart is the sheer freedom you have to define your power. There are countless ways to customize your skills, and every level unlocks new options that let you reshape your build on the fly. Many of the Warlock's
And with
most
the new skill
iconic
tree.
abilities don't just have a single expression. They can be radically reshaped through variants that change how the power manifests in combat. Each variant pushes the ability in a distinct direction, letting you lean into overwhelming chaos, precise command, or personal dominance. Whether you're amplifying demonic force,
Speaking of which,
directing it with intent, or
Let's see.
consuming it to become
Let's see
a weapon
something.
yourself, these variants ensure that every major summon reflects your chosen playstyle.
who would be the most egregious person right now? Let's go MOBA. Mobalytics. Diablo 4. Builds and guides. Verified builds. Not even verified. Just go with just whoever's throwing up builds. Because if there's people putting up builds right now. Alright. So, confirmed. Mobalytics does not have it up yet. So that's good, I guess. It's like how many people are trying to get ahead of the curve, you know, and like be like that first one. Like, let's try Icy Veins. Icy Veins has the news. They also don't have any type, like, who would be making builds yet? Unless they played it. And doing a little bit of journalism right here, you know, it's like, okay, so if you have one person who already has a build out, well, let's find that person, let's contact them, let's see how it is. What did they think? Who are they?
And reinforces how you want your
Why are they
Warlock
making a
to
build?
engage in the battlefield. Let's dive right into the Warlock skill variants. Rampage. You unleash a rampaging demon brute onto the battlefield, a living engine of chaos that smashes through anything unlucky enough to stand in its way. Abyssal Titan. The demon brute becomes an Abyssal Titan, larger and imbued with the shadows of hell. You may directly
See,
order
that
the
one's not
brute
as
to perform
fun as
devastating
the
leap
other
attacks.
one where you're
Demonic Smash.
siphoning off the
You consume the brute's power, gaining demon form and
the
allowing
power to
you
spike your
yourself to jump into
stats.
the battlefield. Sigil of Summons. Perform occult
In my
rituals
personal
to summon
opinion.
additional demons. Customize how you perform this ritual and what comes out. Summon Succubus. Summon 2 greater succubi that inflict terrible, terrible shadow damage. Summon Hellworm. Summon a Hellworm that mimics your own demon summoning even more demons.
That's pretty
Fiend
cool.
of Abaddon. You summon a towering demon juggernaut, wielding a massive hell-forged greatsword that cleaves through the battlefield in unstoppable arcs of destruction. Abyssal Colossus. You may now order the Fiend to perform an enormous 2-fisted smash that pulls in enemies. Vanguard of Flames. This Fiend is now bound directly to you, moving with you.
Oh, you can
and
walk
allowing
with
to
you.
charge into battle.
Oh, shoot.
This is especially cool with the Rampage Demonic Smash variant, since you can leap yourself with this Fiend attached to you.
See, that would have been
We're
cool
so
during the
excited
lunar
for all of you to
lunar
shape
thing
your
for the
Warlock
week.
playstyle with your
Smash
own
everybody.
devastating abilities and unique variants. The options are as dynamic as they are powerful. Dive deep and discover the combinations that unleash your true potential. That wraps up our Warlock deep dive for now. Thank you to our incredible community for your ongoing passion and enthusiasm. Your excitement and feedback have helped shape every step of our journey, and we can't wait to see how you make the Warlock's power your own.
There you have it, the Warlock. Hot.
There it is.
That looks amazing.
The Warlock.
And who better to get into everything than Colin and Bjorn? Welcome back to the stream.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hell yeah. So first things first, I got to ask you guys, why the Warlock?
Yeah, I think that's a great question.
I'm gonna run
So,
really quick
you know,
to the
Lord of
restroom,
Hatred as
and
an expansion
I'm gonna
has
leave
this
this running
core
so you
theme
guys can
of
see it.
sort of
So
heaven
just
versus
give me
hell.
2
Also,
seconds,
the sort of duality
and
of old versus new.
I'll be
There's
right
gonna
back.
be a lot of returning things that you're going to see from older games, like some of the monsters you might have seen, as well as like new things like the Warlock. So, you know, we felt like when we wanted to sort of deliver 2 classes in this expansion, we felt what better way to sort of embody this idea than like the holy paladin who walks the light. Very straightforward, very good, very simple. You know, I just want to blast demons with holy energy. And then we wanted that sort of contrast with the Warlock, who's sort of this edgelord, brutal demonologist, you know, uses hell's power, you know, draws on demons from the burning hells. So we felt like that really just sort of, that contrast set each other apart, like these classes in a really cool way. And I think, you know, from the class design side, Bjorn, you designed the class. You know, I think when we looked at it, what were some of the things we're looking for in terms of like carving out a new place in our roster? This is our 8th class now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When we're looking at kind of what classes can do, we're taking into account like each of their different play styles. And so with the Warlock, what we're really kind of honed in on was the ideas of like different sort of like summon-based gameplay that we hadn't explored as deeply yet. So with the Warlock, for instance, it's less about kind of the other things that you've seen before, maybe of like having like large standing armies that are constantly fighting for you. And instead it's kind of exploring, for instance, like temporary summons that you're going to kill off, or having like one big summon that you're like really completely in control of, while also sort of exploring how that affects the Warlock when they're doing that, like how they're affected by the shadows or how they take on the form of demon form.
Yeah, like I loved it in the video how like the Warlock is not standing at the back, like they're right in there flinging demons, you know, like little meat trebuchets. Like it's pretty awesome to see. And I mean, yeah, there's so much to chew on with the class. Like, what are you both most excited for players to get into?
Yeah, I think one thing on that, because I love what you said about the Warlock being in the front, something we talked a lot about on sort of the broader roster is that this is a caster and a summoner, but we wanted it to feel different to like the Sorcerer and the Necromancer. So something we talked a lot about internally is like if they all got into a bar fight, like the Warlock would just like kick all their asses, right? And he's like ripped, he has a 6-pack,
Yeah.
and he's there to beat some ass. So, but you know, in terms of what we're really excited about, I'd say like one of the things that we didn't really touch on that I'm very excited about is the sort of new mechanic the Warlock introduces and can take advantage of, and that's demon form. So demon form actually allows you yourself to turn into a demon and absorb some of the power of the demons that you can summon. You saw that on Rampage, where you can actually like leap yourself into battle. You just crush that demon, put it inside of you, and it lets you leap. Another is like you saw maybe in the video where you rip this demon head out of the ground and it starts spewing fire. When you're the demon, you actually just get to spew this fire from your mouth itself, and we just think that that's such a badass way to play. And I think one of the really cool things about demon form itself is that the ultimate metamorphosis allows you to swap back and forth between human form and demon form. And what that means is you actually get sort of like almost like 10 different abilities you get to play with, because demon form is going to replace a bunch of your abilities. I know that you spent a lot of time like thinking about how we want this to play out.
Yeah. I mean, and even talking to kind of what you were saying of kind of leveraging the new systems kind of that we have. So specifically the new skill tree, having all the new variants in it too, kind of let us really explore that. So for instance, like all of those Archfiend skills you're talking about, they all have a version where it's like, now I want to do the thing as a demon myself. So like that's always a thing you can say, like, hey, I just want the infernal breath. Like, I want to be able to breathe fire. You can always just take that variant and put it into your skill kit. But kind of, as you're saying, Metamorphosis is that additional option of like, hey, maybe I always want to be able to summon the fire-breathing head, but then Metamorphosis lets me essentially dynamically swap which variant I have equipped mid-fight and sort of get that additional skill bar, essentially, which I think is a really neat kind of way to let you build, kind of whether or not you want to go all in on the fire breath, or if you wanted to swap back and forth between summoning and doing it yourself, which I think is pretty neat.
Yeah, it's really like a unique play style in that you summon a bunch of these Archfiend greater demons and then swap in a demon form to really build back up dominance to use them yourself. I think like it also goes back to that like duality that we've been talking about for Lord of Hatred. You know, the Warlock itself is like a pretty crunchy and complicated class in contrast to the Paladin, right? The Paladin's very straightforward, whereas the Warlock is much more sort of, I don't want to say intelligent, but a little bit more methodical, and there's a lot to get into on the build crafting and system side that we're really excited to sort of have everyone play with.
Yeah, I think it's so cool that like I liked what you said about like how the Warlock can embody demons. It's like the Warlock's not going to do not going to tell the demons to do anything he's not willing to do himself. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
willing to get in there and get dirty.
Yeah, and it really, like, you get to pick, like, do I want to just do it myself, or do I want to tell the demons explicitly? You saw that with Shadow Form, where like the Warlock snuck up on a group of enemies. They didn't even know he was there and blew them all up. Or you can really lean into that like chaos of just summoning, you know, hundreds of demons that are all going to die and feel your energy.
Yeah, it's a super intense class fantasy.
I'm
Bjorn,
back.
I like what you said about the skill variants. Like, it opens
what are
up
these
a ton of
nerds
different
talking about?
possibilities. You know, with those possibilities, it also brings the question of like, how are you and the team going to approach class balance as the, you know, Lord of Hatred expansion comes out? There's going to be a ton to
Bunch
to
of
work with.
nerds.
Yeah, I mean, we
Look at
want
these
to see
nerds.
fun, so it's going to tear shit up. But I think, you know, really balance, like the name implies, it's a sliding scale. And
I'm
we
a
use
bigger
this
nerd
approach
than
even
them.
in seasons when we do collectible powers or anything new. We know there's a learning curve to, you know, learning a new class or anything in the game. So we generally err on the side of it being a little bit stronger to sort of make up for that learning curve. But we also, just on the side of like with anything new, we want to make sure that there's a lot of different ways to play the class. So we're going to generally make sure that, you know, no matter what option you pick, you're going to feel powerful, you're going to feel badass and awesome. So, you know, we're going to do our best to make sure that it's not completely destroying the game, but what we care about a lot is that the class feels powerful and you're going to have a lot of different options that are going to
Oh
feel
yeah, you
crunchy
gotta.
and cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's
the
really cool to know
season's
that
gonna.
there's
You're
gonna
gonna
be classes
test
with, like,
it
a really high
out. You're gonna
ceiling
feel
that you
cool
can,
with
you
it,
know,
and then
explore
we're
and get
gonna
to
we're
know
gonna do the
and really,
tweaks.
you know, min max to the max when it
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out. So
Absolutely.
that's awesome. So
Nerfing and buffing. They're gonna buff it obviously to make you feel like, oh wow, so they could sell. Remember, they're under Microsoft now, and they got to put out content and they got to sell the content. So they're gonna make you feel good with Warlock, and then they're gonna balance. The same thing with Paladin. You know, we felt Paladin. I didn't get to play it, but from what everybody has been telling me, is Paladin is OP. It's just going off, you know, especially with some of the builds that they've been doing. And then everybody's expecting that nerf, and we got that update, you know, on all the things that are going to affect everything now. So it's like, for people who do this every season, we know, you know, it's good. Let's bring in new people. Let's let them love Diablo, and then you hook them, and you're never gonna leave. You're never gonna leave.
Colin, Bjorn, thank you so much.
That's basically what it
Really
is.
appreciate
You
you
know,
being here. We are going to have Colin and Bjorn come back towards the end of the stream for Q&A. So if you have any questions for Colin and Bjorn, please drop them in the Twitch chat. We'll be collecting those.
I completely
and saving them
missed
for
the
later.
entire
But
thing
we
going
do
to
want
the
to share
restroom.
with you.
I hope I don't get
Before
copyright
we
hit.
actually do have some extra bonuses if you pre-order that are
because I didn't
here
have
on
my
the Warlock,
face in
which
it
is
or
really
anything
cool.
else.
So coming on March 11th with the 2.6.0 patch update, we're actually going to have a Warlock back trophy. This is reactive, by the way, and a town portal, which is pretty badass. Yeah, Portal just wants a hug. And then when Lord of Hatred actually
cool portal.
launches on April 28th, we'll also
a little messy.
have this Warlock skin that you'll get as well.
That's dope.
From the pre-purchase expansion. So those back trophy and town portal are going to be there on March 11th, and then more to come when Lord of Hatred launches, which is pretty
Priest
awesome.
wishes
And that is
they
the
went out like
Infernal
looking like
Apostle
that.
Warlock cosmetic bundle. That is a chunky mouthful. That's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So you can grab that. So we will say goodbye to Colin and Bjorn, and we're going to bring in some new people to check out everything coming with our next season. So hang tight.
And that's what's up. Kill Tony Jeremy. And that's what's up. This is what I'm concerned about. Like what we're doing next. Alright. We get to skip forward. What's going on? Yeah, it looks like, hold on, let me skip forward. Alright, here we are. Shredding.
Hey everybody, welcome back, and now we're going to get into everything coming with our upcoming season. We've got a few familiar faces here. Aislinn, welcome back to the stream.
Good to be here.
Dan Tangway, in the flesh. How's it going?
It's going all right.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Excited for it.
Yeah.
Dan
great.
Tangway
So,
sounds
where we
like
last left off
a
with the
left
players,
winger
we
for the
had
Calgary
PTR.
Flames.
They know that kill streaks are coming. We've
Right.
got bloodied items.
Yep.
There's a lot to chew on in the season,
It's
but
like
there's
Danny
also a lot more that we
Heatley.
didn't share. So do you want to walk us through what they can expect?
Yeah. So
Or Alex
before we
Tangay.
jump into a video, let me just kind of tee up kind of our thinking behind this season. So, you know, when we looked at the roadmap for
Hold on.
Lord of Hatred. You know, we
do
saw that
this.
we really needed to develop kind of a shorter season, a punchy season. And so, you know, we rifled through some ideas, and then we remembered that we built a pretty strong foundation from our previous season. So we needed to build on top of that.
Put me up on the
And
top
then,
so we
when the
could
team
read
came up
together.
with this particular idea, and it just felt really novel, and it just fit really well. So, without further ado, I guess, let's check out the video, and then we can talk more about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a video. I'm making the video.
Welcome everyone to our Season of Slaughter developer update.
Season
I'm Josh
of
Brinson,
Slaughter.
and today I'm excited to share some updates coming to Diablo 4.
Okay, cool.
As we gear up for the release of Lord of Hatred, we're exploring new systems that push Diablo into fresh, unexpected territory, embracing innovation while staying true to its dark roots. While this may be a shorter season, Season of Slaughter encourages experimentation, leans into mystery, and leaves room for surprises that are best uncovered by players through their own journey. For the first time in Diablo history, you can embrace your inner demon and transform into one of Hell's fiercest monstrosities, the Butcher. Let's get right into it.
What?
Starting in Guild Ku on the seasonal realm, you will undertake the quest, A Taste of Power, and uncover the dark path to becoming the Butcher. As the Butcher, you wield the brutal powers that inspire terror, turning them upon your enemies. Cleave through monsters, charge fearlessly into the fray, and unleash a hell of hooks to drag your prey to a bloody end. We are thrilled for you to play as the Butcher and dive into everything Season of Slaughter brings. Brutal powers that inspire terror, turning them upon your enemies.
Hodor. Alright, here we go. Turn these off. Get out of here. So you get a full bar on the bottom. It's very nice that they make them all very not indistinguishable from each other, but that's kind of cool. So you're obviously going to be hitting, of course, your mouses the most, and then your fingers are going to be going kind of crazy over 1, 2, 3, 4. But
Cleave through monsters, charge fearlessly into the fray, and unleash a hell of hooks
okay,
to
so
drag your
you
prey
could get an
to a
experience on
bloody
it.
end.
You got
We
like
are
a mana, I
thrilled
guess.
For you to play as the Butcher and dive
Okay.
into everything Season of Slaughter
Alright.
brings. Whether you are chasing faster progression or craving fresh ways to tear through Sanctuary, we are excited for your journey. While we share what lies ahead, not every secret is meant to be revealed. Some surprises are waiting for those bold enough to find them in-game.
There are several paths to becoming the King of Slaughter. This season introduces a new earnable item called Meaty Offerings. These can be used on the Shrine of Slaughter, a new event available in Helltides, transforming you into the Butcher.
Oh, cool.
This activation triggers a brutal onslaught, drawing hordes of enemies to you, each kill feeding your gory rewards.
Okay.
Helltide isn't the only place to prove your dominance. In the Fields of Hatred, the Ceremony of Slaughter ignites every 10 minutes, transforming the battlefield into a race for supremacy. Every kill fuels your savagery, pushing you closer to ultimate power. When the ritual concludes, a Butcher's idol rises for the fiercest contender. Take it, become the Butcher, and turn the entire area into your personal killing ground.
Oh, like it's that
Want the
PvP?
full Butcher fantasy on demand?
Whoever
Step
wins
into
in the
Slaughter
group
Houses,
becomes
a
the
new
Butcher, and
activity
that's
that keeps you
PvP?
as the Butcher for the entire run. From the first step to the final blow, you're unleashed to do what he does best: slaughter everything in sight.
Oh, that makes me
There's
feel
more to reveal,
bad. Those are
but
regular
some
people,
surprises are
though.
best
I don't want
left
to
for
hurt
players
regular
to
people.
uncover in-game.
This season introduces kill streaks. The kill streak system reshapes combat across Diablo 4 by rewarding rapid and consecutive kills. Slaying multiple
We got
enemies
kill streaks
quickly
back?
triggers a kill
Hold
streak
on.
with a display above the skills bar to track the running kill count.
Like D3?
While kill streaks gradually decay over time, they can be refreshed through any kill or by dealing damage, encouraging fast, aggressive play.
Super cool.
Kill streaks escalate through 5 tiers: kill streak, carnage, devastation, bloodbath, and massacre, each determined by the total number of enemies slain during a streak. When the timer runs out, the streak ends and rewards you with experience and seasonal reputation based on your total kills.
I love it.
But beware.
We're slowly turning into
Immediately
Diablo 3.
ends your kill streak, leaving you with no rewards, cutting your momentum short.
We're
and marking
slowly
a
turning
swift,
into D3.
Shameful finish.
Bloodied items introduce a new item quality that empowers your gear with ferocious, kill streak-driven potential. Any item that can drop has a chance to appear as bloodied, and this tag is non-exclusive, allowing items to be both ancestral and bloodied.
Okay.
Their unique affixes scale directly with your killstreak performance and fall into 3 categories. Rampage, stat-based boosts for your armor pieces based off your killstreak. Feast, grants bonuses tied to kills within your streak, such as resetting a random cooldown every 40 kills. Hunger, enhances jewelry by improving reward drops that scale with killstreak tiers. As with all affixes in Diablo 4, bloodied affixes stack, enabling even greater power as your carnage climbs. Bloodied sigils push your brutality even further, unlocking more intense challenges and greater rewards as you brave the rising heat of combat. Nightmare dungeons, infernal hordes, and lair bosses can be empowered with these sigils. Bloodied sigils introduce the bloodied affix, Relentless Butcher, causing the infamous butcher to hunt you without end, returning instantly each time he falls. But be warned, the Relentless Butcher is an addition to the dungeons, not a replacement for anything that might already be lurking within. These powerful keys only become available in Torment tiers. Bloodied sigils are embedded with challenge and are about a Torment tier higher in difficulty than your current level. Using a bloodied sigil guarantees bloodied items and more, ensuring that the risk is met with fitting rewards.
Season of Slaughter introduces several new class generic uniques which amp up the carnage. The Wendigo brand unique ring increases your max health and your overall damage dealt, which scales with the amount of kills you've earned in the last 30 to 60 seconds. Tear through your enemies and watch your kill streak soar. The Rust-Bitten Dirk unique dagger deals increased damage to isolated enemies, making it perfect for taking down lair bosses. The Thousand Eye Reaver one-handed axe grants ferocity while moving and increases.
Hold on, go back.
The Thousand Eye Reaver one-handed axe grants ferocity bosses, isolated enemies, making it perfect for taking down lair bosses.
Okay, I'm already thinking about
Thousand
builds.
Eye Reaver one-handed axe grants ferocity while moving and increases your max ferocity. That ferocity then increases your movement speed per stack. If you want to rack up kills quickly and move fast, this is an item you'll want
They're
to
really
keep an
pushing this.
eye out for. All new uniques this season drop from the new Butcher Lair boss.
Kill
Seek out
streak.
his den of gore, snag these weapons, rack up your kill streaks, and let the blood pour.
Okay.
In Season of Slaughter, you will be able to fight against the Bloody Butcher, who enters the fray as a new layer boss in Torment difficulties.
That's so dope.
Defeat him for your best chance to earn any of the new uniques. He also has a higher chance of dropping bloody uniques, making his fearsome fight worth the effort. The Bloody Butcher is initially exclusive to the Seasonal Realm, but he will stay on as a permanent layer boss in both Eternal and Seasonal Realms after Season of Slaughter has ended.
Doom, the Dark Ages, is coming to Diablo 4. Rip and tear your way through Sanctuary with new cosmetics inspired by the legendary Demon Slayer. And our most expansive free reliquary yet. Earn rewards like the Shield
Wait,
Saw
what?
cosmetic skin, Slayer's Flail, the head of the...
Whoa, 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 whoa. What?
Earn reward... Demon Slayer. And our most expansive free reliquary yet. Earn rewards like
Dark Ages currency to claim the Doom, Dark Ages themed cosmetic. Why are they doing this?
the Shield Saw cosmetic skin, Slayer's Flail, the head of the Cyber Demon in back trophy, and more.
Do they own Doom?
Cut down elites and champion monsters to earn Dark Ages currency and carve your path through the Doom, the Dark Ages event reliquary. Claim all rewards to unlock the Forsaken Gates town portal and leave your mark on Sanctuary. We'll also have threads fit for the Slayer in the in-game shop. Mecha Dragon Sirat, Cacodemon, the Cyclopean Cackle Pet, Gibbet, Souls of the Lost,
Microsoft owns the
rip
Doom
and
franchise.
tear through the demon hordes in style.
Quench your blade's thirst.
It's all
and
IP.
Let the blood flow. Slaying your enemies with unrelenting
You know, Disney does it. Why not? Why not Bill Gates?
ferocity is the name of the game. Ramp up the kill streaks and become the butcher in Season of Slaughter. See you all in Sanctuary.
There you have it, everybody. Season of Slaughter arrives on March 11th. We've got the Doom the Dark Ages Reliquary. We've got the Paladin free trial. It's going to be fantastic. And after all the years of torment, after all the devastation, we finally get to become the Butcher and actually dole out all that punishment onto our enemies. I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, I can't wait to jump in for the season.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And I know
That's
that,
gonna be so
the Butcher
cool.
is going to be the seasonal
The
component
whole
of it, but we
Butcher
do
mini
also
game
have a
thing
lot
is
of
gonna be
changes coming
insane.
in. More evergreen changes coming in the season to kind of like help heighten some of those, activities that we play over and over. And I mean, Aislinn, I've heard you got some quality of life queued up. What can players expect this season?
Yeah, so
Blue
of course
filters.
we saw all the amazing stuff coming in Season 12, Season of Slaughter, but we also try to continuously update the game and make sure that it's better all the time. And so we've got something that people have been asking for a while. We gathered all the locksmiths in Sanctuary and we opened all the doors in all the Nightmare Dungeons. So you don't have to go and click on them anymore. You can just break right through them, or they're already open and you can just go through as quickly as you'd like. We also
I don't understand
changed
what that
the
means.
way that traversals work, like when you're climbing walls or like descending ladders and stuff like that. It now scales with your movement speed, so going through the world just feels a lot more natural based on your own personal movement speed. Oh gosh, what else is there? There's great things.
There's a ton coming. There's a ton coming. And I
Let's
know.
talk about the faster loading speeds.
That's right. We've got faster loading speeds just across all different loading screens, so even beyond your movement speed, the game is just going to, in general, feel a lot faster. So those are some fantastic quality of life improvements coming. But beyond that, we've also been making sure
Wait, so
that we're
I don't
taking,
understand. I
a
understand.
look at the tower.
Yeah.
So we really want to make
Is this already like built in? Is there an update coming? We're waiting for like actual Lord of Hatred, or is this going to be? I mean, I know they're talking about season 12, but like, are we going to get hit with the maintenance maybe a couple days before? What are you guys going to do?
sure that the tower is something that we continuously update, that we continuously make a lot better. We know it's still in beta, and because of that, it's getting tons of changes constantly every season. And so I wanted to just dive a little bit into that. So we've got exploit fixes, like for example, there was a way to extend the timer past 10 minutes. We don't want players doing that. There was a way to like kill enemy timer past exploit fixes, like for example, there was a way to a little bit into that. So we've got exploit fixes, like, in beta, and because of that, it's get date that we continuously work. So we really want to make sure that the tower is something that we continuously update, that we continuously make a lot better. We know it's still in beta, and because of that, it's getting tons of changes constantly every season. And so I wanted to just dive a little bit into that. So we've got exploit fixes, like for example, there was a way to extend the timer past 10 minutes. We don't want players doing that. There was a way to like kill enemies while you were still in the safe area. Don't want players doing that, so we fixed that. We've got 5 new tile sets coming to the tower, so there's going to be lots of like cool new places you can explore.
So you don't want
We're even removing.
you don't
one
want
of
us
the
to
tile sets because
cheese
it's
it.
just like too narrow and kind of annoying to travel through in a competitive environment, so we didn't feel like it fit super well. And we've got 5 new bosses coming as well, which is really exciting. And we also took some time to make sure that the bosses were a little more balanced with one another. So you wouldn't go in and like fight a boss that had like way more HP or did like way more damage or anything. So they're a lot more balanced to kind of preserve the competitive integrity of the mode. And in addition, all the bosses hit a lot harder than they used to, because we want to make sure that once you get to that end state, you're kind of having like an exhilarating battle to the finish, right? Instead of kind of a slog through like, you know, like, oh, can I kill the boss in time? We'll see. Like, we don't want that kind of vibe. So yeah, those are some of the changes coming to the tower, but we also have some leaderboard changes.
Yeah, that's right.
Too.
So, you know, obviously, Aislinn just covered a lot of the gameplay changes coming to the tower, but we saw a lot of your feedback on the leaderboards as well, and we spent some time improving those. So first up, you're going to be able to see your personal best right at the top of the leaderboard. No longer have to scroll down and try and find where your name is if you're in the top 1,000. Next up is we built out a end of run UI, so you get a sense of where you're placing at the end of your run, so that, you know, if you want to go back and try again real quick, you can. And also, because he's a bit of a judgmental, I guess, master of the tower, the Artificer is also leaving you notes.
Well,
and
someone's got to tell you how to like improve, right?
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Artificer's there to help.
Artificer's
And so,
note, get good.
What's that?
Artificer's note, get good.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
A jerk.
So, yeah, there's a bunch of notes every end of run that you'll see that will hopefully help you improve your run. And then finally, we're just making the leaderboard easier to navigate. You've got to...
That was one of the things. Like, I mean, even though, like, day one, I saw people, obviously, you know, like, 100 and something, 124, 125. I wanted to see my time. I wanted to see how close people were. Like, what fraction of a second was it that, like, maybe I needed to beat? And I had to click that arrow all the time. So, like, I mean, whatever, you know, quality of life, I guess that's kind of cool. Even though I suck, whatever.
Jump to me buttons, so you can go immediately down to where your position is.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we're going to continue improving the leaderboard as we go. In addition to that, we actually wanted to tease a few things that were coming. I know we've implemented a lot for Season 12 at this point, but we've gotten a lot of feedback that, you know, I want to make sure that you're all aware that, you know, we're going to tackle in future seasons. So first up is that we are going to finally release some rewards. So in the upcoming season, we're going to have tower rewards, and that's going to reward you for advancing tiers within the tower. And I'm pretty excited about those. They're pretty cool. In addition, we're going to have leaderboard rank rewards. So you will get some really cool status symbols, you know, prestige items that you can show off if you manage to...
Tower is greater rifts, basically. D3 Griffs. And I felt it. As soon as they dropped it, I was like, okay, so we got leaderboards, we got this. They're Griffs.
Rank on the leaderboards. In addition to that, we are finally going to release our leaderboard build viewer. A lot of you have asked to be able to see the profile and the build of the person as they made the score, not what it is currently. So we take a snapshot, store it away, and now you can see that build information.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Super useful for like understanding how people are playing at a high level, or like, you know, even playing a specific skill. You can like look at that up.
Yep, absolutely. And then finally,
that's pretty cool.
Finally, we are also working on solo self-found. And so look forward to those things in the future.
It's funny, you read chat's mind, Dan. They were already commenting solo self-found, so you've...
oh, they've been chanting that for months at this point, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you for walking us through that, Dan. There's a ton coming in. We're really, really
excited. Are there people who really want
and
self-found?
I'm really excited to share with players as well. I know that a ton of people have been playing the Paladin in Season of Divine Intervention, but for those of you who have not yet purchased the Lord of Hatred expansion, we're actually going to have a Paladin free trial starting with on March 11th. You can play until level 25 on Battle.net, Xbox, and PlayStation from March 11th to 18th. You'll be able to play the Paladin up to level 25, and if you pre-purchase the Lord of Hatred expansion following the trial, you'll actually be able to continue your progression on that same paladin character
That's cool.
that you used before, which is pretty great. So
it's so worth. The paladin is seriously so fun. If you haven't had a chance to try it yet, now is going to be the time. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That'll be me.
It's an absolute ton of fun. And I'm also really excited because there's another thing players I feel like are always asking for. You're going to be able to pre-download the 2.6.0 patch starting on March 9th. So for Battle.net, PlayStation, and Xbox, you'll be able to pre-download the 2.6.0 build on March 9th at 10 a.m. So then when it launches, you'll be able to jump right into the fun, which is pretty great.
Hold on.
So then when
Say the time again.
Download the 2.6.0 build, PlayStation, for Battle.net 2.6.0 patch starting on, are always asking for. You're going to be able to pre-download the 2.6.0 patch starting on March 9th. So for Battle.net, PlayStation, and Xbox, you'll be able to pre-download the 2.6.0 build on March 9th at 10 a.m. So then when it launches, you'll be able to jump right into the fun, which is pretty great. We're now going to head into the Q&A portion of the stream. So hopefully you've been dropping your questions in Twitch chat. We're going to pull those, and we're also going to invite back Colin Feiner and the Bjorlock to join us for the Q&A. So hang tight. We're going to get them up here. So stay put. Thanks.
All right. Pretty cool. Do we even want to go through the Q&A? Like, is it even informative? Whoa. Is it even worth it?
All right,
you be the
everyone,
judge, I guess. I don't know.
Portion of the show. We got the whole gang here, and first things first. Aislinn,
Four nerds.
The
four nerds been
among the development team. When someone pitched, hey, let's actually have the Butcher as a playable character. Like, I mean, that.
I have no idea how much these people mean to me.
It was one of those things where somebody came
make
up
fun
with
of
the
them,
idea, and
calling them nerds, but like they run my life.
But you know, when we looked at the season and we looked at, you know, we wanted something novel and different. We said, okay, what is it going to take to do this? So we started, socializing it with people, and every time we mentioned it to them, a little smile would creep up on their face because they can just immediately imagine how fun it would be to play as the Butcher.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's hard not to get excited about
cool.
it. It's gonna be a ton of fun.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really what drove it home, was the fact that people did get so excited about it. Like, we couldn't ignore that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, we had to do something with it, and it sounded great on paper, but
the
it was
idea
like, how
that
do you turn that into actual mechanics?
The idea that, has anybody ever thought of that before? Hey, let's play as the Butcher. And now is when we think about it? I don't know.
But we did, and it's so fun, and I can't wait for folks to get their hands on it.
Yeah, you guys pulled it off. Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun when it launches. I am super pumped.
Yeah.
All right, we've got a question from Nog and at Diablo. Will you rework how we get materials? Because as it currently stands, the loot filter does not auto-salvage the filtered loot that we'd salvage to get mats.
Yeah, so we are actually going to rework how you get materials and material economy in general because explicitly of that. So I don't know if I would say it's necessarily reworked from the ground up, but that has been taken into account, and the materials you need as you go into higher difficulty tiers and the way your loot filter kind of naturally evolves is intended to support that. So you're still going to be earning the materials you need, and when you finally decide oh, I never want to see non-legendaries anymore, or I never want to see non-ancestrals anymore, you're probably going to be in a place where you actually probably don't need those materials anymore at all. You already have a fantastic stockpile of that stuff, so you don't really have to.
So you're gonna take those away, even though we earn them?
Worry about it.
Yeah, we all know that point you get to at the game where you're like, okay.
Yeah. I understand that. We're not. It's gonna get to a point where it's I don't want anything that's not. I mean, I run through that non-ancestral mess all the time, and inventory mess all the time. But I still like getting all my stuff. So I finish Inferno Horde or a Nightmare Dungeon or whatever it is, and oh, look, I got like 8 legendaries, and I'm not going to use them. I'm going to destroy them, but I want the materials. I want the mats. It's not necessarily that I don't need them. Maybe I don't need them, but maybe I do need them eventually, because you have some sort of mechanic that might still necessarily need those things. So don't take them away from me.
Okay, this is credit to me. I no longer need you. I'm done with you. Yeah, at that point. Awesome. Question from Ignition. How will you address kill streak tiers dropping off before getting to a big boss, like in the pit, the tower, or the infernal hordes?
Yeah, so we actually did work a little bit on the amount of time that you will be in a kill streak, and also like how loading screens affect a kill streak, just to make sure that it is actually possible to like maintain it and get to the end.
That's awesome. Yeah, good, nice feeling to be able to chain that kill streak throughout a whole dungeon or activity, for sure.
Absolutely.
From X-Drift
Bro's trying to run a
Ninja,
whole dungeon with a
someone
kill
for
streak.
calling him Bjorlock. Can you constantly stay in demon form?
Yes and no. So it's really going to depend on how you build your character. A big part of the skill tree is going to be customizing kind of what you want your character to do. So you'll find when it comes to demon form, there are bonuses for swapping in and out of it, or trying to stay in it as long as you can, that sort of thing. So most of the variants will give you like
Move
a
myself a
couple
little
seconds
bit
of demon
over.
form. So that's more of like kind of a temporary thing, but you could chain them back to back to try to keep that going.
I'm going to be right
Caveat
back, okay?
The Metamorphosis, which we spoke on a little bit before, which is the ultimate, that baseline allows you to swap into demon form, but replaces your entire skill bar. So that version, which can be like a little bit of a bit to learn that you have new skills, so that one is permanent, but that one is honed in on a very specific set of skills, whereas then the variants of Metamorphosis, they undo the reworking of your skills, but then those become temporary versions of demon form that it gives you kind of a power up of like, now I'm the fire demon, or now I'm the shadow demon. So it'll really come down to kind of how you choose to customize demon form as you make your build.
Very cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Infernal Cold 780 asks, what weapons will the Warlock use?
Ooh.
Sure. Yeah, broadly speaking, we're looking at sort of melee weapons. So you're going to be able to use daggers, flails, and then swords, axes, and maces of both one-hand and two-hand variety, and then your offhand focus.
Hell yeah. Very nice. 888 Reality. Does the leaderboard do the leaderboard rewards only last for the season?
So there's going to be a bunch of different types of leaderboard rewards. Some of them, which are based on climbing the tower tiers, are going to be just power-based rewards that you are going to earn and be able to keep as your character migrates to Eternal. The status symbols, however, fall into two different categories. Some of them you are going to be able to keep, and some of them you aren't. And so, I don't want to spoil too much yet, but it's a nice mix of things that basically allows you to both show off in the moment and then kind of memorialize the fact that you were able to achieve something, that difficult, I guess.
Yeah, it's always nice to still have something you can kind of peacock around and let everybody know. Yeah, hell yeah. Fun name, Marquise, or Marquise, however you pronounce it. At Diablo, what about other classes for class balance, like the Druid? Will it get some love around when Lord of Hatred drops?
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much every class is going to get some love because we've reworked the skill tree. There's more on that to come, but the Druids specifically, I think, are going to really enjoy because we did something special, which is a lot of the skills you're actually going to be able to pick what form do you want to take. So on live today, we just sort of prescribe, the werewolf. Let's just say Shred, for example, can only be used as the werewolf, or Maul is a good example as well, which is the Druid bear attack. It's a basic attack. In Lord of Hatred, you'll actually be able to pick like, actually I want to be a werewolf and Maul thing. So you have a ton of flexibility both within shape-shifting and human form, and there's just so many really cool skill variants and side upgrades that we have for the Druid. And that's not just for the Druid, again, that's like every single class coming to Lord of Hatred has these types of things. You haven't even seen like what we've done with the Necro yet. So there's just like a lot of stuff that we have in store, and it's all going to be balance. We've been playtesting it a bunch. We've been hammering on this for like a year. So we think it's just going to be a really fun moment. No matter what class you're into, you're going to have really cool stuff to play.
Oh yeah, every class has got tender loving care in Lord of Hatred. So regardless of like who you play, like you're gonna come into Lord of Hatred and be like, holy shit, there's a lot of awesome stuff here.
One really cool thing is that, for example, you think about Trample on the Druid, right, which, you know, charge through a bunch of enemies, it's the bear. The werewolf version actually leaps you. Like, you can pick a leaping version of that.
Damn.
So, and that's just like, oh, what shape-shifting form do I want to be? There's also a variant on top of that, which is like, okay, what do I want my Trample to do? So there's just a ton of stuff like that to really unpack, and tons of permutations just within one skill.
Wow. Okay, you heard it here first, everybody. And I really like what you said too, Colin, about like how we're just kind of scratching the surface. Like we will have a whole other live stream to kick off before Lord of Hatred goes live. So we'll definitely have another spot to kind of get into all those details. But there is, like Colin said, a lot cooking for all the classes under the hood that we're really, really, really excited to share. So yeah, that's really excited. Thanks for sharing that. Noob Sauce season. Are bloodied items exclusive to the season, or is it something that will persist in Eternal and also spawn into future seasons? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll talk about that. So, as of right now, bloodied items are only for the season of Slaughter. However, you know, this isn't the first time this type of feedback's come up. I think, you know, a lot of folks want to be able to, you know, use a lot of these cool seasonal items in future seasons. And so that's something we're actively working on right now, trying to figure out what's the best way to bring them back. And I think, you know, once we get, you know, Lord of Hatred out, I think we'll have a lot of new tools to be able to do that.
Heck yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of tools that they're going to be able to chew on for that expansion. It's going to be really, really, really exciting. Justarius or Justarius. One of my favorite parts of new classes is seeing the runes they have built for automating their own kit and new toys they can bring to other classes. Can we get a sneak peek of the Warlock skills that will be on runes?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, the two runes that the Warlock will be adding is the ability to proc its Dark Prison skill and its Brimstone subpower. So Dark Prison is an area that will tether enemies into it, so you'll be able to lock down enemies with that. And then Brimstone are kind of these little mines that you leave around that'll explode when enemies get close to them.
Very cool. Thank you for that, Bjorn. Harris Mokhtar. Even if I'm playing ranged, does converting to Butcher convert playstyle to melee?
It will still convert you to a melee build. The Butcher, you know, he gets up there and he cleaves people and he screams fresh meat. So if you turn into the Butcher, that's the vibe you're going to have too. So I think we're really excited about the way the Butcher plays.
Yeah.
Like, he's just so much fun to just cleave through enemies. And he's also very burly and tough. So, like, if you get up in melee, you're not really going to have to, like, typically, you're not going to have to worry too much about dying. There are some situations where it might happen. But, yeah, can't wait for players to try that out. But,
His
yeah.
Furnace Blast is like basically ranged too. Like
It
like
is,
eruption,
yeah.
it's
It's
the whole
huge.
screen,
Yeah,
and
it's
like
huge.
attacking reduces the cooldown. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess the hook is kind of ranged, but then makes it close range. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's that nice blend. But yeah, the Butcher is definitely not a bow and arrow kind of guy.
Not a bow and arrow kind of guy. Not waving a staff around and slinging spells.
Yeah, no shot, no shot. Drakith_90. Will the Warlock be able to enslave demons and use them as pets like his Diablo 2 resurrected counterpart?
Yes and no. Not exactly in the same way that the Diablo 2 Warlock does it. The main focus we have is, so with our class mechanic, specifically the 4 that you can directly bind to yourselves. Those are sort of his primary demons that he's going out and he's capturing. And then technically there's also a couple of ways to like dominate enemies' minds and kind of control them around the battlefield, but nothing as a direct one-to-one with D2 because they're just kind of slightly different games.
yeah,
Nice.
I think one thing to touch on is for the class mechanic it is this quest. We've made a really cool quest for it. You're going to go across Sanctuary and dominate some of these really powerful like arch demons, right? Like they're more than just like, oh, there's a goatman over there that I'm going to possess. It's like, no, there's a devourer deep in the caves of, you know, this really ancient place that you're going to go and like bind this specific demon. And the whole quest line has a really cool, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but a cool ending to it. So that's sort of the take we had for the D4 Warlock.
Hell yeah, it sounds badass. We got another question from Loathe Burger. Loathe Burger. Does becoming the Butcher put you into PvP mode?
No, not necessarily, though there is a mode specifically in the Fields of Hatred
Yes.
that has some PvP elements to it that involve the Butcher. So keep an eye out for that. There may be some butchering of other Wanderers.
This
going
whole
on.
time I had my mic
Same would be
muted.
the Butcher if you couldn't get
Jeez.
after other players at some point, right?
Yep.
And actually, I'm glad you brought that up too, because we do have the Season of Slaughter overview blog going live after the stream. So we'll share some
What a
more
rook
details
move,
on
huh,
the nitty-gritties
by
coming
me.
with the season, as well as the Warlock
As a
deep dive
rook.
blog and the 260 patch notes. So if you're a reader like me, you've got a lot to chew on following the stream. So we'll definitely check that out. All right, we got our last question from Caps Lock Leo. The Warlock, Spearborn, and Paladin feel so innovative over the original classes. Will the new skill tree make the original classes feel as fresh and new as these new classes? That's a big one.
Absolutely. I mean, we took. I'm not kidding when we poured so much love, blood, sweat, tears into these existing classes. They've all got massive overhauls to their skill trees. Again,
That's
I'm not
cool.
going to spoil too much. Like some of the classes have even gone further beyond, like the Necro and Druid that have these really cool things. So, all these classes are going to get the same.
I'm
number of
concerned
variants
about the
in Lord of
Druid
Hatred.
because
All gonna
that's
have
the
tons of
least
side
played.
upgrades to tune and fine tune and customize things. We've also pretty much looked at like every single legend. Legendary and unique item in the game, like not exaggerating, like everything has been touched and fine-tuned, and all that we've learned over the past several years of D4 has really just gone into this skill update. So it feels like a completely different game, but familiar. Like if you're playing the Sork, it still has these really awesome themes of pyromancy, shock, frost, and you're master of elements, but there's just so many ways to play with it. Like, oh, I want to spawn an icy meteor instead of the current version of meteor, right? You can do that, and you can also overpower the meteor so that it's bigger and that you can dump all your mana into it. There's just like so many different ways to play. So I would say, yes, we've taken so much of the learnings from Spiritborn and Paladin and Warlock and poured it into these classes that we all know and love. No classes left behind.
Oh, absolutely. Like every day we go into the office and people are just debating, they're having conversations, they're talking about how can we make the existing classes like better and elevate them to the level of like excellency that the 3 new classes have reached. They are on the same level, and they're really awesome.
Yeah. No, it's phenomenal, and yeah, I'm just so excited for all these features to come in with Lord of Hatred on the 28th. There's just going to be so much to chew on. It's going to, like you said, Colin, it's going to feel familiar. It's
I keep on getting muted for some reason. Maybe I keep on turning myself off with the space bar or something like that. I don't know how long I've been muted, but basically, and I hope that when I go back and I watch this, that I can see that I did this. What I wanted to do, like, this is the second time or the third time that they show all their names, and I wanted to make sure that everybody saw them. Marcus Kretz, Bjorn, Aislinn, Colin Feiner, and Dan. These are the guys who make us do what we do at the end of the day, you know. These are the designers, the group, how I say this, man, because I'm a middle manager myself in my 9 to 5. And my own 9 to 5, I'm just like, this would be my job. I would be sitting here talking about all the work that my people have already done. So I know there's a lot of people underneath them. The only thing that I do have to say is that Bjorn is an absolute unit, and I love him. He is just sitting there, just loving life, and he is just rattling off information. But I wasn't gonna go through the Q&A. I don't know how much my stuff was actually like muted, man. It is crazy. But if it was muted, I will say, put a girl on.
I would say yes. We've taken so much of the learnings from Spiritborn and Paladin and Warlock and poured it into these classes that we all know and love. No classes left behind.
Oh, absolutely. Like every day we go into the office and people are just debating, they're having conversations, they're talking about how can we make the existing
What is this?
classes
I gotta
better
chat.
and elevate
I gotta
them
chat.
to the level of like excellency that the 3 new classes have reached.
Hold a
They
message for a
are on
reason.
the same level,
Smart
and
detection.
They're really awesome.
Okay.
no, it's phenomenal, and
Hold on.
yeah, I'm just.
Gotta stop this. From Mechanize Do something 3 ZFRM ZN something. Eat Fresh. Cheap viewers. Streamboo.com. Remove the space. Instant banned. Yeah, you're banned. I get at least 1 or 2 of these a day. I could imagine like
So excited for
who
all
actually
these features
have
to come in with Lord of Hatred on the 28th. There's just going to be
traffic,
so much to chew on.
because I don't have
It's gonna,
traffic at
like,
all.
you know,
I
like
don't have
you said,
anybody
Colin,
coming to
it's
see
gonna feel
me.
familiar. It's still going to have that class
There's
identity,
nobody
but
in
also
here at
be,
all.
you know,
Mine's
just a
like an
totally
empty
different
room.
Feel. So it's
I
really,
just
really
do this
cool.
for fun.
Like the Warlock or Paladin, you love your base class. It's an awesome time to come back.
I can imagine people who have like 100, maybe even like a 200 or 300 people watching them streaming. At that point, you might need somebody to help you out with these bans.
Unreal. Well, I want to thank you all for coming out and being on the stream today. This has been really, really fantastic. And I've got something really excited to share with everybody back
Show me.
home. If you're a lore nerd or really love the narrative around Diablo, we've actually got a copy of our next novel coming to the Diablo franchise. This is The Lost Herodrum, written by Matthew J. Kirby in close tandem with the development team. It launches on April 21st, and it covers the story of the Lost Herodrum, and it is the official prequel novel to the Lord of Hatred expansion. So if you want to know everything that was kind of going on leading up to these events,
Canon.
this is definitely something you're going to want to check out now. Pre-order is live, and the book comes out on April 21st, right ahead of the Lord of Hatred expansion. So
That's
I'm
cool,
sure people are
man.
gonna bomb through this in a week, but it's a great little prepper for when the expansion goes live.
That's very cool.
And just to give a quick recap of everything coming with the Lord of Hatred expansion.
How much? How much? We gotta find out. Wait. The Lost Haradrim. $30 on Penguin Random House. So I guess that's who they're going through. Who knows?
Haradrim, written by Matthew J. Kirby in close tandem with the development team. It launches on April 20.
What is wrong with my computer? There it is right there. Pre-order. Pre-order $30. Yeah, that's it.
21st, and it covers the story of the Lost Haradrim, and it is the official prequel novel to the Lord of Hatred expansion. So if you want to know everything that was kind of going on leading up to these events, this is definitely something you're going to want to check out now. Pre-order is live, and the book comes out
cool. They got
on
lore.
April 21st, right ahead of the Lord
They
of
got
Hatred
lore
expansion.
for
So, I mean, I'm sure people
for
are
a
gonna
looter.
bomb through this in a week, but it's a great little prepper for when the expansion goes live. And just to give a quick recap of everything coming with the Lord of Hatred expansion, we've got a really handy infographic that takes you through everything. Like we mentioned, the campaign, the classes, the region, and a whole lot more to get into. And we'll have more details in that live stream that we're going to have closer to expansion launch in April. And then for Season of Slaughter, it launches on March 11th. You're going to be able to become the Butcher.
This is what's up. This is what we gotta look at. Become the Butcher. You got kill streaks. Bloody Billy. Season Journey Pet. Hunger Rampage Fees. Bloodied items. Carve culling. That's all the moves from him. These are the 3 unique items. Paladin free trial. This defers me from buying the expansion until the 18th. So I will not. I will hold off.
There's kill streaks, butcher skills, a new reliquary. We've got Doom the Dark Ages, new unique, and of course that Paladin free trial. And when Season of Slaughter goes live on March 11th, you'll actually be able to grab this Twitch drops that's going to start with the season. It is the two-handed, we've got free reliquary items coming with Doom the Dark Ages. That Shield Saw cosmetic looks pretty badass. And of course, if you collect all of these in the free reliquary, you will get this town portal in the bottom right corner, which looks just absolutely insane. And then when Season of Slaughter goes live, you will be able to grab this bow cosmetic starting on March 11th. Just watch any streamer in the Diablo 4 category that has drops enabled on their channel for 2 hours to grab this badass bow cosmetic. And of course, on March 9th, you'll be able to pre-download the 2.6.0 patch update on Battle.net, Xbox, and PlayStation, so you can load right in. And then when 2.6.0 goes live on March 11th, you'll be able to jump right into
March 9th is Monday. This upcoming Monday.
Season of Slaughter, which will be really great. So I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's been here. Thanks for hanging out and answering all the questions.
You're welcome.
I want to give a massive thanks to production, Filthy Rich and the boys. Thanks for putting on a great show as always. And I want to thank everyone at home for tuning in and checking out the stream. We're really excited to get Season of Slaughter in front of you on March 11th. So we'll see you all in Sanctuary.
Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
Can't wait to see you guys. That's it. For at least this chapter, I'm done for tonight. That's really cool. Let me move my face. That's not what I wanted to move. Back down here. It's very cool. Very cool what's going on. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. Kind of speechless. I think I'm gonna end it right here. We're gonna end the stream. I thought about like maybe, hey, let me get into this. Let me jump into D4. I'm super gassed up to do it. Like I want to do it, but I know myself. Like, let me just hold off and maybe tomorrow. And we only have a few days left of our beautiful sorcerer to reach 250, and I think tomorrow will be a better day. So I can run her. I think she's like at 225 or something like that, and yeah, I think it'll be better. That way. We'll leave it at this. This makes it more organized, and this whole entire stream was just literally a reaction to like what they're talking about, and so hyped for season 12. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a complete mess, but it's gonna be fun. But all right. So ending stream. Good night, and I gotta come up with a catchphrase. Like a whale's vagina or something like that. I don't know. Thanks for stopping by San Diego or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, stopping the stream. Good night.